Hello. So, this is actually the second attempt at recording this because the first one didn't quite go well. I mean, it went well actually, but let's just say recording something at 4 am sleep deprived doesn't really give the best of results, if you get what I mean. So, here I am, still with no script, no preparation, somewhat of a planning ahead, no bitches, and that's all I've got. So, the title's self-explanatory. Hung shipping. Ships with Hung, the character from Arknights. If you don't know who he is, now you know. So, let's cut to the chase.
Nicki Minaj, is that you?
So, there's not really much to say about this. Hung X Doctor, it's pretty much a self-insert ship. Like, I guess you could consider that, oh, the Doctor is his own character, thus it's actually a non-self-insert ship, but like, most of the time it is portrayed as a self-insert ship. Nothing wrong with that. I'm not that fond myself, mainly because of the Your Name son from Security Breach Shippers. Let's not talk about that. But yeah, it's just you and the character you like, together happily forever, married with 2 kids and a dog. Well, he's the dog, technically. I digress, it's basic, but you know, it works.
And we said nay. We are but men. Rock.
Long X Mountain. It's quite a basic ship, but it's a good kind of basic, you know? Like how when you ask someone, hey, what's your favorite Levi song? And they say, from the start. We're like, yeah, of course it's from the start. It's one of her most popular. I mean, I think it's her most popular song. But there's a reason why it's the most popular, because it's good. Same thing here. It's probably his most popular ship, and it's for a good reason. Kind of. Like, they don't know each other in canon, as far as I'm aware. Mountain knows of Waifu, and she obviously knows of Hung, but I don't think Hung and Mountain directly interacted in canon. I mean, there's that one PV for Integrated Strategies 2, where the LDA goes to the castle, and then they found Princess Passenger. Like, okay, you go off, Queen. And Mountain there's as well, but like, yeah, they beat up a homeless cat, and there's that. I'm not quite sure if that's what I would call canon, but like, to each their own. I'm not going to judge people's delusions. I have much worse. So yeah, they're just like 2 characters, 2 men from the same universe who are conventionally attractive. That's enough for a ship to exist. Well, they don't even have to be from the same universe. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, it's quite a neat ship. There's even a comic on Twitter about those 2, and I think it's quite sweet. So yeah, awesome ship. Very nice. Probably my favorite.
The whole club looking at her. She's Jessica.
Now, you must be wondering, who is Meng? And to that I answer, watch LDA episode 3. Actually, you should watch out the whole LDA series, if you can. You probably can, if you haven't already. And if you have already, go rewatch it, why not? It takes like less than 2 hours. Go off, have fun after you watch this video. Or you can stop watching this video, go watch it, I don't know, do whatever you want. Thing is, to sum up, Meng is an old colleague of Hung, and a friend as well, who kind of almost killed him, and then they went their separate ways. And Meng was like, I miss my friend, I'm gonna visit him. And then she did, said hi, ate his food, and went without even saying goodbye. And here's the thing, this is kind of a friend to lovers ship. I'm not that keen of this archetype, but like, it's sweet sometimes, and I think this is one of those occasions. It's not my favorite ship, but it's like 3rd spot. It kind of would also have like angst comfort. If you're thinking of like AO3 tags, I think I'm deviating, yeah, no. Thing is, I think there's a chemistry between them, like, it's cute. The one issue with this ship, well, it's inherent. It's a ship with firstly, with an unknown character, because she only appears in this one episode of a series most people haven't watched, and because Meng is a woman. And the thing is, the major demographic of Hung fans are gay furry men, and as we all know, gay furry men are very misogynist, very much not interested in straight relationships, at least with their favorite character, and which is very understandable. So like, there are not many things in favor of this ship. Still, I like it. It's not even a crack ship, it's like reasonable, so there's that.
I don't need friends, they disappoint me.
Okay, so, hear me out. Remember when I said that they don't have necessarily to be from the same universe? That's what I meant. But, like, I won't say it makes sense, because it doesn't. It's pretty much a crack ship, but isn't that beautiful? It doesn't have to make sense. That's what makes shipping such a marvelous thing. And like, yeah, it's pretty much that meme, white gay men showing their boyfriend, and it's the same person. Yeah, they're conventionally attractive, almost the same body type and like white hair. But I have seen the fan arts. The fan arts. You need to hear me out. The fan arts are marvelous. They're the best thing ever. I mean, not better than Hong X Mountain. Like that's the OG. Not the OG ship because there's one before that, but like it's the good OG ship. I'll talk about that later. But tracing back to Von, Lycaon and Hung, it's just that thing that like it clicks. I think I don't think I'm convincing anyone with this explanation, but like this is just a delusional rant of a video. I don't have any expectations. Either someone is already convinced and I'm only reinforcing their point, or I'm seeming like a madman. No. Listen. There are many factors as to why this one shouldn't be. Specifically with Ark because it's the most popular, but it also applies to Lee and Waifu, although what occurs to them is in a lesser scale. Thing is, the LDA has a found family dynamic, which is kind of headcanon, but also kinda canon. Lee's legally Waifu's guardian, since her father pretty much left her. By the way, he could become playable. It would be pretty much nice. It's been 3 years since the last furry operator. Would be pretty neat. But we're not here to talk about that, although I'd very much like to discuss that topic. We're here to talk about how Waifu is technically family to Lee. And Lee kind of embraced Hung into this family. And then Hung found Ark almost dying and say, hey, I found this thing on the road, can we keep it? And boom, there it is, a family. Not a nuclear, not a conventional family, but a family still. Wife and Ark sleep in the LDA and Hung has his own apartment according to the series, but like, yeah, even if it's not biological, it is somewhat immoral to ship two characters that have this kind of relationship. And like, the biggest thing is that it happens because like, oh, two furry characters, same thing with Mountain, two furry characters, they release at the same time, let's make them kiss. And the thing is, there's a part of the furry community, because in the end we're talking about a furry character, that is worryingly big, that is invested in two siblings, or a father and a son being romantically invested, and like, that kind of only accentuates the issue here. Like, case in point, there's a myriad of characters, not even limited to the Arknights universe, as in with Hung and Von Lycaon. Why would you ship specifically those who have the most family-like relationship out of the bunch? When you have so many other options, so many creative possibilities. Yeah, that's my rant. It's as I said, I did not plan, but like, yeah, let's just not ship Ark and Hung, okay? Let's go with. I much prefer like Hung ex priestess. I don't know. She wants everyone assimilated but him because I don't know. She likes dogs. Do you see what I mean? By the beauty of crack ships, you can do literally anything, so like, go crazy. But yeah, this is pretty much what I have to say. I kind of thought of this video on the spot, so it's probably short. As I said, there was no script, no preparation, only a first attempt that definitely didn't go well, and that's it. This is the first time I'm doing kind of a rant video, so I'm sorry if the quality is terrible. It will probably it will likely be, especially regarding the audio, because I do not have the equipment for that kind of stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed. Drink water, don't get a coffee overdose, and keep shipping.
Berenice, segura, nós vamos bater.
Hello. So, this is actually the second attempt at recording this because... Hello. So, this is actually the second attempt at recording this. Putz, grila, são 9h30 da noite. O que você tá querendo buzinar tanto? Before I forget, there's also another ship. However, it involves the Stultiferon Navy's tentacles.